Hi, everybody. My name is Jeremy, and welcome to Lesson 9 of our tutorial series. In this episode, we're going to look at ShapesXR's mixed reality system. This system allows you to not only work in pass-through mode, but it also allows you to lock your project to your physical environment, which is great for designing mixed reality applications. So for this lesson, feel free to create any scene or prototype you want, but let me go ahead and give you a preview of what I'm going to build just so you have a rough idea of what we're going to cover. So for this demo, I'm going to create an educational app for kids, one that teaches prepositions, words like over, under, and on. Now, if you want to replicate what I'm doing, this graphic right here is located in your onboarding folder for you to use. Now, for this lesson, you are going to need a physical table or desktop. Square, rectangle, circle, doesn't matter. Whatever you've got should work just fine. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to and find an appropriate space to work in. All right, so once you've found a workplace with a desk, let's go ahead and activate pass-through mode. There are two ways you can do that. You can turn on pass-through by pressing this button here on the handle of your non-dominant hand, or you can turn it on by accessing the pass-through menu, which is located here. All right, so now that we've activated pass-through, let's go ahead and set up our room so that we can lock our project to our environment. From the pass-through menu, turn on one-to-one mode. Now, if you've already set up your room in your Quest headset, you should be good to go. But if not, just follow the prompts and your Quest headset will walk you through the process of setting up your room. All right, so we've got pass-through activated and we are in one-to-one mode, which means our project is locked in at 100% scale. So that means that the traditional navigation systems and shapes have been deactivated. So to move around the room, you have to physically get up and walk around the room. Now, once again, the purpose of this lesson is how to use our mixed reality system. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time showing you how to build things or how to work with the stages. We're primarily looking at mixed reality. So feel free to build whatever you like, be as creative as you want. But as you're building, try creating an interface that floats above the desktop because we're going to need some of this open desk space later on for our prototype. All right, so our prototype is done here. I went ahead and added a few stages just to show what the interaction is going to look like. So let me walk you through those real quickly. So users are going to come into the space and they're going to press the start button, and that'll activate the application and they'll get their first task. And the first task is to put the cup on the desk. So I went ahead and put a highlighted cup there on the desk so they know where to put it. So the user picks up the cup and places it on the desk, and they get this green check mark to indicate that the action is completed. And then we move on to the pen. Put the pen in the cup, and they put the pen in the cup. So for this next phase of our prototype, I want users to place this box under their physical desk. And as you can see here, when I try to do so, I can still see the box. So let me show you a cool trick that you can use to address this problem. It's called occlusion. So choose a shape that's comparable to the shape of your desk. So for me, I'm going to choose this cube shape with these sort of rounded curves. So go ahead and create a virtual desktop that matches the basic shape of your physical desktop. So if you've got a circular table, choose the column shape, et cetera, et cetera. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and recolor my object. So from my color menu, I'm going to choose the color black, and then I'm going to select this pass-through option here. And I'm going to go ahead and recolor this object with black pass-through. And there you go. So you can see the object is still in my space, but it has pass-through added to it. So now, when I place the box under the table, it's obscured from the user's view. So this is a really great way to add reality to your AR experiences. It creates the illusion that your application is truly mixing with the physical world around it. All right, so let's go ahead and look now at our final interaction. So users are instructed to put the motorcycle on the floor. So they pick it up and it scales up and they place it on the floor. Now, when I was designing this, I ran into a little bit of problem. You can see this motorcycle's life size, so it was kind of awkward to work with. So I want to show you a little trick. So if I go back to my pass-through menu and I turn the real world layer on, click this button here, you can now see that the parameters of my room actually display in my headset. Now, if you remember, I told you when you're in one-to-one mode, your navigation system is deactivated. So if I try to move around with my grip buttons here, nothing happens. However, if I scale myself up dramatically, so I spread my hands apart, hold down on both grip buttons, and scale myself up, I pop out of one-to-one mode, and you can see I still see the parameters of my room, and we call this dollhouse mode. And so now in this mode, I can interact with my larger objects with a lot more ease. Now, to get back into one-to-one mode, there's two ways to do that. I can come back here to my pass-through menu and click back to one-to-one reality, or I can press this button here on my hand controller, back to one-to-one mode, and you can see I can pop back in. Now, when I have this real world layer on, you can do some really cool things. I can actually come in here to my shapes, and I can snap it to my physical wall. So really fun, really handy when you're creating mixed reality experiences. All right, I want to go ahead and show you one other tool that's in your mixed reality menu. So you can see here that we are now in a new location. I went ahead and came in here already and set up the parameters of the room. So we've got that set up. But you can see that my prototype is nowhere in the room where I actually want it to be. I want it to be right here at the end of this conference table. So using the edit offset feature, I can reposition my prototype to align with the room. So I'm going to click edit offset. And then just using my grip buttons, I'm going to move the prototype where I want it to be. So I'm going to put it here at the end of the table. So that looks good right there. Click done. And now you can see my project is realigned. So this is a great little tool to use if you ever need to realign your project or you've changed locations. Just use that edit offset to align your project with your physical environment. All right, everybody, that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. I encourage you to go out there, play with this new system, create and design your own mixed reality experience, make some videos, post it on social media, and be sure to tag us. And we look forward to seeing what you create. Bye, everybody.